to be answered. The details of how all this happened. Hopefully, we're going to get to hear more of those details within the next few minutes. Alexandra, I know you've been chatting with a lot of people here on scene as well.
Several neighbors just wondering, asking the media what's going on. You know, our community has been following this case. They were hoping for a miracle. They were hoping for Riley Strain to be found healthy and alive, but unfortunately that's not the case here. I think one of the reasons this case has just enraptured people's hearts is everyone remembers being in college, going on spring break, having fun with your sorority or your fraternity, and the last thing you expect to happen is something like this. And so, you know, a lot of people in the community are just coming here asking us, you know, is it him? And it's just heartbreaking that we have to be the ones to share that news today.
That's right, and we know a lot of you have been following this story. That's why it's important for us to stay with this, keep on this, and bring you the...
What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome. Good morning. Thank you for all the people that contacted me, Discord, Twitter, TikTok. That, first of all, was a body that was found, but now they're confirming that it is Riley Strain, and there's going to be a press conference, and I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, like, where down the river was his body found? They have a helicopter there. There's a crew out there. There's a map on Twitter that was posted. I'll show you guys. SF posted one, but there's another one too. I'll take you there for a second. Yeah, this guy posted it here. So, okay. To the right is where he disappeared, Riley. And this is how far down his body was found. I wish I could see what intersection that was there. Let's take a look at the SF. Okay, Cemented Boulevard. Oh, no. Sentinel Boulevard. So that looks quite a ways way down. Let's keep checking in with the news feed.
Where the initial call came in for the drowning is 1760 61st Avenue. That's where crews first showed up. And I just want to note, we don't know this for sure, but what's interesting is you do have a lot of kind of industry along the banks of the river right here. There's barges parked, there's terminals for offloading and onloading material goods and everything like that. So, you know, there's a chance that perhaps, you know, an operator discovered, you know, a body somewhere around here. So I'm just going to kind of widen out just to give you a perspective of where this is. I'm going to take the sky map off the screen here. So you can see that this is the Nations over here to my left. And we're going to pilot the chopper around, back around to the right. So this is kind of the Bordeaux region. All the barge traffic that's parked along the river right here. Is very common to see these barges parked along the river. They're just kind of staging for pickup or whatnot. And as I pan the camera back around over here, you can kind of see Ted Rhodes Golf Course. Here's Clarksville Highway right here. When we got to the scene, the fire and police rescue transported the body over to this little boat ramp. This is like a fuel terminal right here. With good access to the river. So this is you know, the body was recovered right here at this ramp and taken off to the medical examiner's office. I'm going to tilt the camera up here. You can kind of see where the press is kind of staging, and I'm assuming where Don at some point, the police chief will probably do some kind of media briefing. So that's kind of the view from Sky 5 up here again with pilot Jason Morgan giving you these views.
So the Metro Nashville PD, they posted, says breaking, the body of Riley Strain was recovered from the Cumberland River in West Nashville this morning, approximately 8 miles from downtown. No foul play related trauma was observed. An autopsy is pending. Okay. Sad news for sure. Is it surprising to me? No. Also, MNPD has called a press conference. So I want to try to figure out what time they're going to do that. That's Metro Nashville PD, I think, because the family's doing a press conference at 1 p.m. 9:45 a.m. Is that about to be now? Or is that where they're getting ready to do it? Let me see. Nashville PD. Let's see if I can find it. Somebody can hook me up with the link. Nashville.
Looking at Sky 5 right now, just the vantage point overhead, that larger perspective. Here's Don Aaron with Metro Police.
Everybody give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Looking around.
Might be doing it here anyway, but...
Okay, here. All right.
Here we go. Cool, we're good.
This morning we have a unfortunate update for you on the Riley Strange search. Chief John Drake, Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, will be speaking with you. Chief Drake.
Thank you, Don, and good morning, everyone. This morning around 7:28 a.m., we received a call from a worker on 61st Avenue at a company that adjoins the Cumberland River that had been searching for anything that would pop up on the river, especially looking for Riley Strain if he would surface here. As they were removing an object from the river, they noticed what appeared to be Riley Strain pop up. The fire department was called in, retrieved the body from the river. The medical examiner's office reviewed the body, and we've confirmed that it is Riley Strain. The family has been contacted. There are no signs of foul play at this time, according to the examination here at the riverbank. Mr. Strain still had the shirt on that he was wearing, still had the watch, and other identifying factors that
still the shirt on.
Identify who he is. I want to say to the family, my heart and prayers go out to you all for this very unfortunate and tragic incident. I also want to say thank you to the Nashville community and the outpouring community of the outpouring support from the community in trying to help us locate Mr. Strain. I also want to say thank you to our USAR team and to the fire department and OEM and TWRA and everyone else, including the media, for everything that you've done, for the countless tips that came in. We received nearly 200 tips as of yesterday that we were vetting out. So at this time, the family's been notified. There would be an autopsy more than likely sometime today, and we'll have a little bit further from that point. So thank you.
Chief, can you tell us, is there any other additional evidence that points you to the theory that it seems like you've been going after for a while now? It's just that he fell into the river, accidentally? Yeah,
there's no other evidence that suggests anything other than we have reports that normally under these circumstances with his height and weight that he could have surfaced between 14 and 20 days. This is the 14th day, so we were really expecting anytime soon to find him. In fact, our search teams was going to put in the water here this morning and then search from this point further down. So we were in the right spot. It's just unfortunate. But there's nothing to suggest anything other than any foul play at all.
You said that these were crews that were actually looking for him that found him?
Yes, that's so the workers typically on the river, whether it's barge companies, concrete companies, other businesses that actually are on the river, and they look routinely. It's happened countless times before. And as they moved, I believe, a barge, and don't quote me on that, they removed something from the river, and as they moved it, they noticed Mr. Strain, and called it in.
Typically work on the water. They weren't necessarily search crews.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
All right,
Shirt
that was
on 'em.
an update from
Shirt
Metro
on him.
Police
Watch
Chief
on 'em.
Drake telling us that this discovery was made this morning about 7:30 from a worker at a company here that joins up against the Cumberland River. Alexandra Cohen is joining me here. The first bit of details we're now getting after this heartbreaking news this morning.
Early in the morning, you can see these barge workers transporting gas, oil. The Cumberland River is pretty active, and in that process, a lot of times they have to move debris. But because this case has been in the limelight, they had their eyes out looking for him. And as Chief Drake had said, they had estimated based on his height and weight, they were looking for a body between 14 and 22 days. And today marks, I believe, the 14th day since Riley Strain went missing, and our hearts just go out to his parents right now as they're grieving a sense of closure, but also this is not what they wanted. Everyone had their fingers crossed, was hoping for a miracle.
Right, and this really does tell you just how many people in this community were focused on this case and wanted to learn more. The fact that they had workers at some of these companies that abut the Cumberland River here actually going out, taking a look, every day, multiple times a day, to actually see what was going on and search for any sign of Riley Strain.
Chief Drake had said they'd actually planned on searching this part of the river today based on the flow. So we're learning more about what has gone into that thought process for everything that, they're dealing with at this time. Neighbors have flocked to the scene because so many people wanted to know, did they find him, what was happening, and what was going on.
That's right. We've seen signs of just how heavily trafficked this area is. Some of those trucks continuing to move in and out and do business here even after just horrible discovery this morning. The news that nobody wanted to hear.
And Jason, you went to the University of Missouri where Riley Strain went. I can't imagine reflecting back on spring break when you.
So yeah, it's not all the conspiracy stuff didn't turn out to be what it is. A lot of times I just tend to go with Occam's razor, which Occam's razor means like the most probable, likely outcome. Even though horrible things do happen, just taking the information that we've taken in, I didn't think it was like this thing, that he was subdued and taken in a car and people are examining all the fractions of a millisecond and slowing it down, speeding it up. Though people have found things doing that, so I'm not knocking people that did that, but I didn't think that's what it was. I didn't think so. Amy, thank you for the 5 memberships. Appreciate that. Snickerdoodle, thank you for the super chat. Says, thanks for keeping us updated. Appreciate you. Wimbles, thank you for the super chat. Says, rest in peace, Riley. Gone too soon. Bueller, thank you for the super chat. Says, rest in peace, Riley. No foul play. Now we can put a rest to all these awful conspiracies / opinions. Bueller, again, thank you for the super chat. Says, this story had some of the dumbest conspiracies I've ever seen. And Alan, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, awesome coverage.
And he also still had on his watch.
Yeah. It's just,
I still had
heartbreaking.
I gotta fix that, guys.
We cover stories like this, but you still hope for that happy ending, and I just hope that the family gets that closure, and they can now finally put Riley to rest.
Still working out all the kinks.
Riley Strain, 22 years old, his body found today. May he rest in peace. We are praying for his.
And the whole thing too, like the one homeless guy saying that he heard this Riley screaming, "Let's go, Brandon!" That one's pretty far fetched. He was across the river and he said he heard somebody doing that. I didn't think that was possible. But then the one that was kind of plausible that had all these witnesses and stuff was this homeless guy that supposedly was wearing Riley's shirt. And there was like this massive manhunt in the homeless community, and the advocate of the homeless people was there and all these people. And then they put a name out and there's this massive search for this guy wearing Riley's shirt. And he had on his shirt the whole time. He was found with his shirt. Found with his shirt, found with his watch, found with his phone, I believe they said. I wanted to show you a couple things. For the new people that joined to see how far down the river. To the right where the X is at, this is where he went missing, and then this far down the river It's called where is it at? Sentinel Boulevard. I might pull up a map too, so we can take a look. But SF Investigates had posted something that I thought was interesting. Posted something that was interesting here. Let me see if I have the post saved. Because there was some account about that one of the last places he was seen was like over a railing vomiting. That couple that saw him that actually offered to help him, that was one of those stories too. I think that was actually legit. They saw him kind of messed up and that couple was like, hey, do you need help? And he was like, no, like I'm good. And here we go. I found the post I want to show you guys. I need my caffeine. I haven't had any coffee. I feel bad. I feel sympathetic. You know, I've had a story. I had a LSD situation years and years and years ago, 2010, after my father passed away. And I was partying, going nuts. And it was one night I took 2 tabs. I never even had taken it before. 2 tabs, and I was already on X. Craziest year of my life, and I was wandering the streets. I could have died that night easily. I even thought I was dead that night. I saw myself in third person at one point, seeing I was almost like an outer body experience looking at myself. I thought I was dead that night. And well, let me save this what he said here because I think this is good to like read and highlight. There's another press conference at 1. The family's holding a press conference, but I could for sure feel sympathetic to. I even had a moment. That story's in my members area. It's on YouTube for members only because that's like a crazy story that I was almost never even going to tell, even put out there publicly. But at one point towards the end of the night, I was crossing this bridge. Yeah, I was out in Miami, crossing this bridge. It was in a place called. That place is so bad, yo. It's like a third world country. No offense, but it's like a worst places because the party was like in a warehouse. Worst places in Miami. Let's see if it pops. Yeah, Overtown. Over here, on this website, it has it listed as the second worst place. I was in Overtown, man. And at one point, I was having a hard time telling reality from what was just in my head to what was real. And the thing with Riley, I'm wondering, was it just alcohol? See, there's still more maybe that's going to come out. Was it just alcohol, or did he actually have something in his system as well that made things worse? This is from SF Investigates. He posted this last night. He says, investigations are fluid. The facts, as investigators know them, are constantly changing. This means the narratives can change at any time. Investigations are not about guessing the conclusion up front and twisting the evidence to fit your conclusion. It's about letting the evidence, as you discover it, tell you the story, the true story. With that said, there are critical pieces of evidence as I know them. All these pieces of evidence are already out in the public, but some of them are being inaccurately reported. So I think for Riley's sake and for the sake of the investigation, it's important to clarify them. Nobody grabbed Riley before he ran through the parking lot. There was a fight of some sort. That fight broke out in that area, but didn't involve Riley. The family has viewed interior surveillance from the bar. The family has also seen additional surveillance from places along Riley's route, such as a food truck. It is known who Riley was on the phone with. It is known who Riley was with on the phone while coming towards the bridge. Law disclosed that because it was a friend of Riley. Because Banfield is reporting that about a witness that talked to Riley at the intersection, I will tell you, I took a verbal witness statement from the witness. I also put this person in direct touch with the family. The witness has given a statement to law enforcement because this information leaked from mainstream media, and some of it is wrong. I will give a summary of the statement because if information is going to be in the public domain, it needs to be accurate information. A witness noticed Riley was very intoxicated and said to Riley, I hope you're not driving. Riley replied that he wasn't and was very polite and made a joke. The witness said Riley was on the speakerphone with someone. Again, law enforcement has said Riley was on the phone with a friend in this area. The witness was getting into their car and noticed Riley had stopped and was leaning over the embankment wall to the river and vomiting. This got the witness attention because of the way he was hanging over the wall. Riley then proceeded towards the bridge, and as the witness left and made a U-turn, noticed Riley walking without distress towards the bridge. The witness lives out of state and didn't even know Riley was missing until the 16th. So at some point they see him, and a couple people have speculated because he's very tall. He's 6'7" or something, you know, or 6'6", 6'7", really tall guy, skinny guy. Some people have speculated it would have been easy for him to like fall over a railing. And then we've seen those embankments, how like it literally just whoosh. They literally last night. I don't know if I saved the link. I saw things happening last night. There was a homeless person that fell in the river. I had the link somewhere. I don't know where it's at now, but a homeless person fell in the river and they needed to be pulled out. And the Cajun Navy, I guess, had pulled them out. It's very easy for anybody to slip down and fall into that river. And then there's a current, it's strong. I mean, I don't know what could have happened to Riley in those moments. You know, we covered a story the other day where a guy had years and years ago in that same Cumberland River, I believe was intoxicated as well. He voluntarily, though, this other situation, this guy voluntarily walked into the river and it was seen on video drowning, and he had to come to the water. They found his body. I don't know how long after. And with the LSD story that I was telling you, I lost my mind for a second. I had come up to this bridge, and I was so hot, and I was overheating, probably because of the X. And then I was also on LSD. That in my mind, I consider like maybe I should just jump off this bridge into the water. It wasn't like a high bridge; it was a low bridge, but I could have easily drowned. That water, I don't know if it was intercoastal water or it led right to the ocean. I think it did lead right to the ocean. In my head, for a moment, I consider that. I tell it in the story. I was like, I was thinking irrational. I was like, well, maybe if I just get in, I'll cool down. I'll feel a lot better. But then, thankfully, I had moments and lapses of like reality, and like I was like, wait a minute, that's crazy as shit. Like, what the hell are you thinking? And so I continued to cross the bridge, and there was a security guard. I asked her to call a cab for me. I didn't have my wallet. I didn't have my phone. I took off like all my clothes except my boxers, and that's how I went home that night. So I can feel sympathetic and relate. You sent me the video. Okay, to last night. Perfect. When I saw him wandering those streets in the videos, I almost saw myself. Except there's no video of me. Thankfully, actually. Because when I came to the next day, I was searching myself. I was like, yo, I did some crazy shit that night, but nothing, I guess, warranted like that. All right. So there was the witness that saw him vomiting. He was sick, then walking towards the bridge. Riley was captured on surveillance between both bridges. We talked about that yesterday, towards JR Bridge, and is tracked until very close to the bridge, but it's not seen exiting on the other side. Riley's last phone ping was 50 to 100 feet to the south of the bridge. His phone and watch stopped at the same time, this is a whole nother thing that we talked about. People wondering, well, why did his phone stop? People were, wondering, but then the family had come out and said they have this Life 360 app. The Life 360 app, which I've never had, but I've heard about it. I heard families have this thing where you can monitor your kids, or like everybody knows where everybody's at, safety, whatever. And so they were able to check that his battery on his phone was nowhere, it wasn't low. The battery just wasn't low. The phone just stopped. And his watch, for whatever reason, I think they said didn't have GPS enabled on there. So that would make sense if he went into the water, that phone, with his phone and watch, which was found with him, why that happened. His debit card was found in the exact area the phone stopped pinging, in the same area Riley was not seen exiting. So yeah, with the wallet situation, or with the card, people wondering about that too. Like, well, somebody had to do something because the card is, but who knows? Maybe he at some point was holding the card in his hand, or maybe it fell out of his pocket, or I don't know. Let me get the other chats here. Gypsy, thank you so much for the membership. Music City Mom, thank you for the 4 months. Says, can we please help look for James Ray now, Perry County, Tennessee? I haven't heard of that. I'll look into it. We also have a lot of people are talking about Sebastian. Sebastian's still missing. There's also Caleb Harris that I covered the other day. I need to do an update on. Bueller, thank you for the 5. Says Banfield, another L. Allison Faith, thank you for the 12 months. Says thank you for everything you do. Appreciate that. Thank you for the membership. Hoax, 22 months. Holy moly. Says it rained that night, and maybe that's true, and maybe more. The river was 7 feet higher that night at the height where the card was found. Oh, true that. True that. Yep. Sydney Snyder, thank you for the membership. And Queen of Easy Money, thank you for the membership. Yeah, and that story, by the way, for the new members, it's on my YouTube page on the front page. You got to go through the members playlist. I might have to make like another one just for the crazy stories so it's easier to find. We have a lot of member videos. So Riley's watch did not have location services enabled. There may have been additional surveillance. We hope there is. Reports that it's been confirmed that his shirt ended up with a homeless person. As far as I know, at this minute, false. Riley's mother and stepfather were on Banfield today, and she tried to make it sound like it was confirmed. His stepfather said something to the effect that there is new news. That rumor has been around since last Tuesday. In other words, it's a rumor, not a fact. If it is true, then it's amazing that thousands of people have not been able to find this homeless person, including the advocate that claimed they were able to get in touch with him just minutes after asking others to put him in touch. When Riley is found, he will tell the story. A full investigation will take place. The search for Riley needs to be the focus, not turning this case into a circus. If all this energy was focused on search grids, we would probably have Riley back now. These are facts as I know them. This is an active investigation, and it's subject to change directions at any time, but based on evidence and facts, not speculation and rumor and bad reporting. So, SF Investigates wrote that. He's on Twitter. His name is Steve Fisher. I can put his page in the description because from what I've seen, from the times that I've been following him, he's had good information on this stuff. And I think he has a nonprofit. I don't know if a nonprofit, but he's a private investigator. I don't want to speak for him, but yeah, he's on Twitter. World of Twitter. Let me see what else we got going. So we have a press conference at 1. And I want to see 2. Do we still have any? I know the live feed cut off, but let's see. Okay. No, they're not doing it there. Let's see. Okay. I don't see a new live feed. I was hoping they'd have another feed out there. Everybody's looking at the old stuff, I guess. All right. So let's do this then. Law enforcement and family have confirmed Riley Strain was found on the Cumberland River approximately 8 miles downstream from the bridge. No signs of foul play. It appears to have been a tragic accident. This case has underscored how quickly circumstances can change, reminding us that tomorrow is never guaranteed. The level of support and active involvement in the search was unprecedented, the largest I've ever witnessed in any case I've been involved with. It was truly heartwarming to see thousands upon thousands of people showing up, both in person and online, to support a stranger and his family during the darkest hours. Riley Strain, young guy. Elizabeth says, wow, I think Elizabeth here in the chat says, I got reminded on me 30 years. I woke up in cars I didn't know with a guy I didn't know, plus woke up in a house with hands all over the wall. Had no clue whose house it was, but I survived. Holy moly. Alex. We could look at some of the stuff that what was posted last night too. I don't have any notifications, so I don't know if we can try to just wait until 1. I don't know if we can just cover things till 1 o'clock. Amy, thank you for the 50. Thank you so much as you missed my 1-year milestone super chat. Oh yeah. Thank you so much for the membership. Appreciate that and all the support. Says thank you for covering all these cases. Can't believe it's already a year since Gannon Stokes' trial. Yeah, that was a very emotional one. Elizabeth too, thank you for the 50. Appreciate that. Hello? Oh, it's 1:30? Oh, I do have one at 1:30, but the press conference is at 1, I think, though. That's the problem. Oh, you're right. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. I mean, we could do calls, too. I don't know what there is to talk about unless people want to share their crazy experiences. Nashville time. I actually might have a... oh, yeah, Nashville is central. So their 1 is my 2. Okay. And let me see what's been said on Use Nation last night too. I just can't imagine like what the cops have to deal with too when you have a bunch of people calling in. You want people to call in, but that's one of the things he was saying. It's like they have to siphon through all this information and people calling in, and then the psychics having visions and premonitions, and then those people calling in too. 17 hours
For
ago.
more on the video on that 911 call and the massive search for this young man, we're joined now by Riley's stepfather, Chris Whited, and family friend, Chris Dingman. Thank you both so much for joining us. Chris, I'm so sorry to meet you under these circumstances. My heart breaks for your family. I just first want to know how you guys are doing and holding.
Said, please drink in moderation. I mean, we can open lines if people want to share some stories. I know opening the phone line sometimes is the wild, wild west. But, yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the kid. You know, that could easily have been me back in my day. You know, that would have, had I not made it back then, I wouldn't have my daughter. I wouldn't have all the things that I have now. And, I mean, the crazy thing with that is to be surrounded. He was out there with 50 friends, 50 effing friends, right? And somehow, I guess because he told them, I even have another crazy story for you. There was one time, again, this was before my daughter was born. I was reckless sometimes after my father passed, but I was with a couple of friends and we were partying at a friend's house. And at some point, I'm like, all right, I gotta go. I'm leaving. And they're like, all right. So I started walking out the house. Let me tell you how I walked out this house. And one of my friends escorted me. I walked out the house, and this is really irresponsible. Don't do this. I walked out the house. I didn't have any shoes on. I didn't have my phone on me. The only thing I walked out was with my keys. I'm walking out in socks. And my friend is like, all right, man. I'm like, all right. I couldn't even put the key in my door to the car, and he gives me the key. He's like, oh, here you go. I'm like, all right. I thought about this the day after. What should have been a 10, 15-minute ride to my house, I didn't get home till 3 hours later. I got off the wrong place. I got on the highway. I didn't even get on the highway. I don't know what the hell I was doing. And at some point, I was able to navigate myself back home. So, at the end of the day, yeah, that's my responsibility. But bro, like some people will literally be like, they see you in the worst condition and will be like, "Bye, see, oh no, let me help you. Here you go." So it's crazy to see that Riley had all these people surrounding him. He was, kicked out of the bar. And maybe his friends were all intoxicated too, and I guess he tells me he's going to go. And then to see him on video in a couple different places, all it would have taken is one person maybe. So there was that couple that tried to help. Texas veteran. All right, I guess I can open the lines. Let me see. It's been so long, I almost don't even know how to do it. I mean, people want to call in and you can either share your thoughts about the case. I don't do call-ins often anymore, but you can do if you want to share your story about the case. I wish I could see a helicopter feed. Maybe I'll play the other one that we had up until we get it. The old feed for the people that missed it. Give me a second till I set up the lines. And this is just kind of, they do have a live feed right now, I think, actually. Oh no, that's over. It's over. And this is just kind of important too. People got kids, older kids that are in college, which I told my mother about the story. And she told me that fraternity stuff is no good. And I agree. I don't think those fraternities, none of them. I think it's all bullshit. I think they haze people. They harass and abuse people, all kinds of shit. They force sometimes people to get wasted. I'm not saying that Riley was forced, but I'm just saying I don't see nothing good out of those fraternities, man. I don't. I don't know what the benefits are from those fraternities. I guess you get on the end and they help you out, and maybe you're like together forever type of stuff, and you get, maybe they help you out with stuff and you get hookups. But I've never thought of anything good from fraternities, whatever the hell they call them. All right. Oh, the last time I was having problems with the voice. Hopefully there's no problem now. This Google Voice thing was acting up last time, but I'm going to call in. We'll see. Crystal,
thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screen.
Crystal said, I'm really glad social media wasn't that much of a thing when I had my crazy time, because I probably would be all over the place online. Like, there'd probably be videos of me from that incident. All right, the phone number is 954-787-3009. I'm just going to get myself a little bit of caffeine. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Get myself going. Almost fell. All right, let's open up the lines. But Lauren messaged me and she was saying that People in the chat are claiming some conspiracy because multiple bodies were found during search. We did it on a previous live stream. I don't know if it was yesterday. There's been plenty of bodies found in that river. If you look over the last couple of years, 10 years, go on YouTube, go on Google. Bodies have been found in that Cumberland River. 678, how you doing? Where you calling from? Hopefully you can hear me. 678. Let's see if I fix the audio.
Oh, hey, it's Lauren.
Hey, Lauren, how you doing? Can you hear me good?
Yeah. I just want to say that do people remember how many bodies were found when they were searching for Gabby? There were like 8 to 10 bodies found.
Yeah. And you know, there's people that still think to this day that Brian Laundrie's alive.
I can't with people. Like, use your fucking brain.
I don't think you can help those people, though. Those people are going to be like that for everything in life. There's nothing you can do. Everything is something, and nothing is something.
And people claiming that it's the, what is it, the smiley face killer?
I heard that too, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, I think this is just like just a tragic accident. He still had on his watch and his shirt. Homeless bike rider not involved. All the homeless stuff, all that stuff was true.
And people think that accidental drownings don't happen. My best friend's dad, who was a very close friend of mine, he died because he was drunk and he was on a beach and he fell into the water in like just a foot or two of water. And he took a big breath in and he died and he drowned. So it happened.
Yeah, there was that kid, I forgot his name, that he was hanging out with a friend and some party mom. And I think they smoked weed, and I don't know, the kid freaked out and he left the house. And he wasn't there. He was there without permission, but like they found him like in a field of like, it only had like 2 feet of water or something, flat in the water. And so that was a weird story, but they didn't find any foul play. I don't know if he was high or tripped or something. He just dead.
People should use their common sense. Okay, well, I'll let someone call and give their theories, and
all right,
so I can get angry.
Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye. All right. 781. How you doing? Where are you calling from?
Mel, what's going on? It's Bueller. I'm calling from Asheville, North Carolina.
Nice. Oh, yeah. I've seen you in the chat and sending super chats.
Yeah. I haven't been here for a while. I started watching, I think it was after Danilo Cavalcante and you and Nick the Hat.
Oh, man.
But I've been going insane over the past maybe week or so, just seeing all these stupid fucking comments, like over and over again, people. Like, open your eyes. In a sense, like, I've spoken to all my buddies. We looked at the video, and everyone has said the same thing. Lights are on, no one's home. He's so hammered. And the fact, like, I'm getting worked up even thinking about it, but even seeing in the chat now, they're like, oh, maybe he took an Uber. Oh, Ross. Somehow no one, like, if you saw someone that was 5'8" wearing someone's shirt that's 6'7", it would look like a fucking dress. Like, why didn't you say his shirt is a dress? So I think I'm ready to torch.
Even the whole stuff with the homeless people and the, like you were saying, the shirt thing, kind of kept getting pushed, and even put somebody's name out there. I guess there was a manhunt.
Yeah. I wrote in the chat that Ross is going to sue for defamation, which is a rumor. So sorry.
Maybe.
But
he could. Maybe,
but he could, maybe the homeless guy's not going to be homeless anymore. So. But thank you for the coverage, Mel.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I hope someone eventually make a montage of all the stupid. Oh, and last thing, the SF Investigates. If you go look on these Twitters, like these people with these conspiracy theories, Nancy Grace, like all of them, like they're just pushing their own mantra. They want more money. I mean, it's life, right? So, Hopefully maybe there'll be an apology, but everyone's kind of on their high horse being like, no apology, but pray for Riley's family. So in a sense, you gave them false hope for the last 2 weeks.
And even with, like the Madeline Soto story, have you followed that one?
Yeah, I've been following. I've watched you, T-Rev, and JLR back and forth.
The only thing I thought was kind of weird with some of the coverage, that people kept obsessing about what and how it was done. Like the first time I heard about it, I was like, okay, that's it. I don't want to. But like they keep talking and talking about the sexual things and how it was done and what angle. I'm like, why? Like we know what happened. Like why keep going on and on and on about this shit? Like it was disgusting. I want to see this guy get charged more, and I keep side-eyeing mom. But I mean, what am I gonna do? A live stream based on the details of what happened to her sexually?
Yeah, no. I think it's a whole different case too, because if you're making conspiracies about a child, right, in that situation, it's a lot different. Right. Well, Riley's a child, but he's 22 or whatever. It's a whole different scenario.
Right.
So I'll let you get going, man.
Right.
Thank you for taking my call.
Man. Yeah, appreciate it. Take care. Yeah, guys, the new people in the chat, he did have his shirt on. He had a watch, and he had his phone, I guess. I guess he had his phone, yeah. 907, how do you know we're calling from?
Oh, hey, Mel, it's Grammy T.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I missed some of your stuff. I was sick last week, so I watched a bunch of your streams last night, and this particular story got me. And I have a couple questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Did he have his shirt on? Did you just say he did have his shirt on? That shirt that they said was on the homeless guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What happened with the homeless guy? Like, did nobody find him, or?
Last I heard, they were still searching for this guy, and I don't know. They couldn't find him.
Like, somebody made contact with him? That's weird. That's weird. Mm-hmm. I really think that people tend to turn away from people that are sick or whatever. I made a comment in the chat a few minutes ago that I was in my town in front of the post office and had a seizure on the sidewalk, and nobody helped me. Like, it's on Main Street. Not one person came over and helped me, and I'm like, okay. And then I got up and they were like, are you okay? Like, yeah, okay. You just stood around. Cool. Awesome. But people just don't go into an active role when there's a problem, and they're more likely to just turn away because they don't want to get involved. And that's exactly what we need to stop doing. I really believe that we're all put on this earth to take care of each other,
I think people now in society, they're afraid to get involved because of like what could happen. And I feel like the easiest thing would have been to call 911. And I thought somebody did call 911 that night or something, but I think people don't want to get involved. And then in some cases, you're seeing these people that do get involved, they are being punished. And the people that are
right.
And then the criminals, they're being placed above victims, and they're getting out early. They're not really serving any kind of time, and God forbid you step in, they arrest you and lock you up and charge you for whatever.
Yeah.
So some people are kind of just.
Some states, I think it depends on what state you're in, because a lot of states have the Good Samaritan laws. Like Texas has Good Samaritan laws, and Florida does, where like if you step in to save somebody, they can't sue you later. Like if you give them the Heimlich maneuver and you break a rib, they can't sue you, So if states would go and do that, and protect people more from these frivolous lawsuits when they're trying to help other people out, I mean, it would be my just absolute instinct to help somebody, but I know that I'm rare. Most people are not like that, So, but I'll let you get to other callers. I just want to call in, say hi. I'm feeling better, and I'll be in the stream.
Doing good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
All right.
All right. Thanks for your content. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So yeah, press conference at 1 p.m. Central. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, actually. They're from the family, so that's probably going to be a rough one, I guess. 812, how you doing? Where you calling from? 812.
Hey, Mel, is that me?
Hi. Yes, it's you. How you doing?
Hey, sorry about that. So I wanted to say two things. One, I'm
like temporarily in a college town, and they close down these frats every other month.
Really?
Every other month, yes, for horrible things. And I wanted to say one more thing regarding why I think he might have shaped up in front of the cop. So
okay, yeah, tell me.
don't you think he seemed like afraid of something when he was running and like and he was lost and so forth?
I don't know why he was running. Because there was a fight in that area. I know they said that there was a fight in that area, so I don't know if it had something to do with that. But
so here's what I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I think in his drunken state of mind, the cop made him feel safe.
Oh.
So I think he was like, holy shit, they're coming after me, like the people at the food truck and, whatever he was thinking. And when he saw the police officer, he felt and he could kind of shape up. That's just my theory, but I don't know.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I have all these people calling me. Can you say that again? Your theory? You said the cop made him feel safe, is what last I heard.
Yeah, so I think maybe whatever popped off at the food truck, kind of in his state of mind, he thought they were after him or something. Then he was lost. And I do go along with the theory that he put the wrong tempo in the GPS later. I definitely believe that. So I think all these things were going on, and he was like, they're after me, or whatever. Like you said about your bad time, you probably would have thought they were after you.
Let me tell you, I actually, that story that I told was so freaking crazy because I even had an experience on the LSD. When I was doing all this crazy shit, I even climbed on top of cars. I don't know how nobody, but at some point when I was walking towards the bridge, cops drove right by me. And as they were driving, I'm pretty sure I did something like this. They didn't stop.
Yeah.
They just kept going. I mean, maybe since nothing bad really happened to me physically, I guess, maybe it's better they did it.
Yeah.
Because if they would have stopped, I probably would have been arrested. But... And I just think in that area, that's normal, I guess. I was in boxers walking.
I know.
At some point, this homeless guy walked up to me. Too, and he's like, yo, you good? But the homeless guy was creeping me out. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you should probably have some pants. And I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, I can get you some pants. I was like, I'm good. It was crazy. So nuts.
Guy's gonna get
But, so I don't know, I don't know in his head that he saw the cop and for a couple of seconds he straightened up.
Yeah. Yeah. It was weird, but I just wanted to tell you about the frats too. I mean, it's every other month they close this one down.
With those people.
No, not at all. I could tell you, there's a lot
so many
that goes on.
There's been times where kids have died, in the news. You can look
I
at
live
stories
in
where
the
kids have died
town
from
that
alcohol poisoning.
have you ever covered Lauren Spear?
No.
Okay, well, I'm in Bloomington, and she's the big case that went missing here, and she's still missing to this day. Huge case. So, Lauren Spear, yes, see about covering her because there's a lot of theories. But thank you, Mel, for all you do.
Yeah,
You're
for
awesome.
sure.
I'll let you go. Okay, you have a good day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, I'll be covering the parents' press conference. It's not going to be for a few hours, though, but I guess 2 hours. 216, how you doing? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Mel. Am I on?
Yes, you're on. How you doing? Thanks.
Hi. This is. I'm calling from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Timbers, Ohio, from your chat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What's really bothering me are the friends that let him go. This has happened to me so many times. I've never done drugs or anything like that, but I've definitely, was on a bowling league and I was a heavy drinker. And I just can't get over how many people let him walk by a young man. He's young. He's a baby. Just let him walk by in his state and did not truly help him. Not, are you okay? But actually trying to slow him down, talk to him. Maybe you should sit here for a little bit, talk to him down, sort of, where he would have to stop instead of keep letting him walk. He had no idea where he was going. I guess that just really bothers me that so many people allow this to happen. Like with you, your story is crazy.
Yeah.
That more people didn't help you. Like, come on, man, get over here. Like, you're kind of freaking out. Like, we have to stick up for each other at some point. And I guess that's what really bothers me about this whole story. I mean, I'm glad they found them.
In my situation, there was a lot of people that didn't, but there was 2 people that I walked into a bar. I was in boxers. I think it was like a Mexican bar. I walked in there and I walk up to like the counter.
My gosh.
And right over the counter, there's like one of these. There's like this fridge thing on the bottom, but there was also one across. I literally, without even saying anything, I started leaning over to grab because I was so thirsty and like dehydrated. It's a Spanish lady. She's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Please, like I just need a drink, please." And I remember I think she gave me a water and like a Sprite for free, and then I left. And then there was a security guard
that's what should have happened with this young man. Yeah.
Yeah. And the security guard that called a taxi cab for me, and then even the taxi cab guy was really nice because I had no money on me. I'm just like, listen, my mother's gonna pay. You can call my mother. He called my mother. It was like almost 6 a.m. Like daylight was breaking. Freaking nuts. So there was like 3 people that were kind and helped me because if they didn't, I don't know. I don't know. It was a really
I don't know. I just feel like
situation.
Me as a person, I keep picturing like saying to myself, okay, Kim, what would you do? I would follow him. I think I would have to follow him or something. I couldn't let him go. The videos of him falling and hitting his head, and people are just watching him without helping. Yeah, and I really do think, one more thing, I'll let you go. I really do think he was paranoid. He may have been on a little something else besides alcohol. He seemed very paranoid. Maybe at times he started to run because he thought, people were after him or something. I just think he seemed, I've been honest from the beginning, and I've watched every video I could possibly get a hold of. He just looked very paranoid. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. And
I would think too, and I'm kind of curious from the chat, like when I see his behavior on camera, to me in my head, I'm like, it has to be more than just alcohol. But some people, they really do get really lit off of just alcohol. I mean, I've had really lit times off of alcohol, but not like that. Just off of alcohol. So I'm wondering, like, was there something else? And maybe we'll be able to find out with the
toxicology report.
Toxicology, which could take a while, I guess, too. But
I just think he would have. I had so many thoughts. Sorry. I just think he would have at that point when they stopped serving him, he would have sobered up a little bit. That's why I think there was something else. They gave him water. He chilled there for a minute. You think he would have sobered up more, but who knows how much he drank, right? I mean, yeah. And I'm just happy they found him, and the mother can have some peace. I felt so bad for her. I was crying with her. I'm a mother of a 34-year-old, and I can't even imagine that happening. So
that's all I
wanted to say. Thanks for covering it.
I wonder, too, if it comes out that there is drugs, could somebody get charged or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he wasn't on drugs, so to say, but you're partying with your fraternity. And, those guys have to feel so guilty. Like, I can't even imagine that I let my friend go and he ended up getting unalived. So, well, thanks for covering it, Mel. I appreciate you.
Thank you for calling.
Okay. Thank you.
Care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's see here. Okay. My mic is acting up, I think. Okay. That's so weird. Like, some of the volume's low. Okay. I'll have to figure it out after. Do that. All right. Let me get the next caller. I think I fixed it. 619. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey. It's Cauliflower. I'm calling from Philadelphia.
Amazing. Thank you for calling. What are your thoughts on all this?
My thoughts, everybody's giving a lot of grief to the, friends for leaving him go. And I just keep thinking back to my college days. And as a female, my friends were always like, don't run off by yourself.
Right.
Guess what? There was no stopping me if I was drunk. and I wanted to go run off. There was no stopping me. Like, they would be like, no, stop, wait. I would sneak out. I would do whatever. And it's a miracle that I'm not dead. It really is.
Right.
Or that I wasn't assaulted or something like that. And there were times when I remember I wrote this note to my friends, like, I've gone to the river to seek wisdom and enlightenment in my way of this state. And then I go down to the river, and I'm sitting in this river in the middle of the night. It's freezing cold. Like, it's not anywhere like the kind of river that Riley was found in. But, I could have slipped and fallen, hit my head and drowned.
Right.
Anything like that. And it would have been nobody's fault but my own, because I really made a poor decision. So I think, this kid, he made a poor decision. And also, he's a guy. If he says to his friends, I'm going back to the hotel, they're saying, okay, we'll see you when you get there. They're not going to be worried for him like you would if it was a girlfriend. Don't walk through the city streets by yourself. And it is a shame that everybody, kind of just passed him by and didn't stop and ask him if he needed anything. But I really feel like the weight of this and the responsibility of this was on him. He made a bad decision, and unfortunately, it ended the way it did.
Yeah. I mean, it's important. I was kind of like that too. Like, especially back in the days when I had first started dabbling in X, and I was like, my father passed away. I was kind of like that too. Like, I'd go with maybe 2 or 3 friends out, and I'd be just, all right, bye. And I'd just go start meeting people, talking to a bunch of people, like going throughout the whole place. I would be the type to separate. I don't do that anymore. I mean, I don't club anymore either. But I just noticed, particularly when I was on that substance, I would do that. I would kind of separate and just go start meeting people and doing this and that.
Yeah, I quit drinking completely a few years ago because of the stupid decisions that I would make.
Yeah.
And best choice I ever made. But yeah, sometimes you just really make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
And
dumb decisions, say things you would never say, all kinds of shit.
Yeah. So,
well, thank you.
That's all I had to say. All right.
Appreciate the call, yeah. Take care.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye. Christine in the chat said, I can't tell you how many times in my youth I'd get texts from girlfriends asking, did you find my debit card or phone? When you're wasted, you lose things easily. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The debit card was never a huge deal, in my opinion. 303, how you doing? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Denver.
All right, welcome.
This is Tay-Tay's mom in the chat. First of all, Tay-Tay's mom.
Oh, hey, I've
in
seen
your chat.
Yes.
Yes. First of all, there needs to be a law that the bars, taverns, clubs, whatever you want to call them, has some kind of protocol where they stop these very intoxicated people from leaving unless they have a safe ride.
Maybe that's something they can push for.
This needs incidents like this won't happen. Second of all, frats are not your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Them boys, girls, they're not your friends. They're going to do whatever they want to do. And he's with a group of 50 and not one of them stayed with him. And then he's walking down the street, falling, stumbling in front of a food truck where there's a lot of people walking by him. He done fell, hit his head, probably don't know where he's at, confused. They're still walking by. He walked by a police officer. The officer don't do nothing. And now he's in the river. I hope his parents sue. The bar, Luke Bryan's got money, sue him. Sue the frat. I'm sorry, but I'm a mother. I have a kid in college, and he knows. I had a scare this morning, Mel. I ain't gonna lie to you. My son, my 14-year-old, does a share ride.
Oh yeah, that's dangerous.
I get a text. Yes, I got a text message that they dropped my son off somewhere else besides his school this morning. I was on my way out the door to walk a block and a half to the police station. I was on the phone with the school, the care drivers, everywhere. Where is my kid? Why did you pick him up not knowing that that's not where he goes? Parents got to stay on top of it. I don't care how old your kid is. I got a 36-year-old out there driving a semi every day. I'm on the phone with him. Where are you? What are you doing? Where are you headed? This way I know where, if something happens, where to start looking.
Right.
You got to stay on top of your kids. I don't care how old they are.
That's true. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ma.
We have a 13-year-old in Denver right now that has been missing since December 1st that just came out on the news last night.
Wow.
Nobody even knew this kid was even missing. It's like, what is going on in our world that we're not worried about our kids anymore?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. The end of times.
But you know what? When you lay down a child, you lose all that. It's not about mom and daddy no more. It's about that child. And that's what parents need to grow up and learn. It's about your kids.
Right.
I don't care if they're 121. That baby has no business even leaving that bar by himself, being that drunk, high, whatever he was. They should have called somebody to get him a ride back to his hotel.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to sue. It could be interesting. I mean, there's videos, and supposedly that video has been handed over to authorities, and he had been to previous bars that night, I guess, drinking, but when he got to Luke's bar, I think they gave him one drink, and then they cut him off and kicked him out. So.
But he's with a group of 50, Mel. 50.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's crazy.
And not one of them had the, excuse my language, the balls to stand up and say, hey, that's my friend. He's intoxicated. We'll walk with him. We'll make sure he gets back to the hotel.
True.
It's just crazy that you have all these people around you and nobody's helping.
Yeah.
And yes, he may be an adult, but he's still somebody's child. I just seen it in the chat. Sorry, he's still a child. And at 21, 22, your mind, you know, you still ain't developed. You may be an adult age, but your mind is not quite developed yet.
Right. No, yeah, it's true. I don't know. I guess we'll see what the family has to say later on in the press conference.
Well, I hope it's something. I mean, my heart goes out to him, just like my heart goes out to Sebastian's father, out there searching day in, day out.
Oh yeah,
for his son.
What do you think about Sebastian? What do you think about Sebastian? What's up with that?
What do I think about that?
Yeah, the mom and stepdad.
I think the mom and the stepdad. According to what mom said, stepdad wasn't there. Then stepdad was there. Then he wasn't there. So I'm thinking mom may have gave him too much medication and overdosed him. And she freaked out, called stepdad, and stepdad took off with the kid.
Oh, those are your thoughts.
That's what I think happened.
All right. I don't know it to be true at all, but I was just wondering if you saw the interviews with the stepdad.
I did, and I think he's so full of, you know what?
The last thing that I heard too is that I saw people on Twitter talking about in the interview that the mother didn't want to discipline him, but apparently his stepdad would discipline him with a belt and stuff.
And my theory on that, if that's not your child, you don't put your hands on him. I don't care if you're the step parent.
I agree.
Or whoever. That is not their job. That is the biological family's parents' job to discipline that child. If you're a step parent, you have a problem with that child, then you go to that parent and you tell them, hey, you know what? Your kid is doing this. Your kid is doing that. It's not appropriate. We need to figure out something. Let that parent that mother, that father, whoever it is, decide what the punishment is. Don't put your hands on my kids because then we've got issues, and I don't care who you are.
I agree. Yep.
I'm sorry, but I'm just a mother. I've been a single mom for 36 years, and I've been overprotective, maybe, I don't know, but I'm going to, don't put your hands on my kids. Now, you can put your hands on me all you want, but you put your hands on my kids, we got a different story going on.
Right. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate the call.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, take care. All right. Let me get the next callers. I want to let her get it all out. Get it out. Get it all out. 484, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Yo, Mel.
What's up? Who's this?
This is Chris. I'm the guy that do the 20 push-ups.
Oh, snap. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's happening, bro? How's your chest doing?
I don't know. I did bench pressing yesterday and it didn't hurt, but I still feel something when I bend inward, like down. I feel like a little something there. I don't know what it is. It's really weird. I never had that happen before. I don't know if I'm just getting old or what. Maybe I might have to actually go to the doctor and get checked out. I went to the urgent care. They just gave me some medicine and then that was it. They did an x-ray. They just think it was muscular. So
you might or something. But yeah, I just got a couple quick points.
Yeah.
Because I actually kind of grew up in that lifestyle. You know, frat, college, every day. Everybody pre-games because it costs $7 a beer.
Right.
All right. If you go to the bar, it costs you $7, $10 for a shot. All right.
Right.
Point. Nashville, it's a party town. People are used to seeing drunk people walking down the sidewalk all the time.
Right.
And I used to run home, run back to my hotel, fall in bushes. I mean, I'd run because either I got to pee or I'm trying to get home as quickly as possible so I don't get public intoxication.
Right.
And it's just, it's a part of growing up.
No, I agree. I mean, even when my crazy situation in Miami too, all those people out there were like that. It was everybody's partying, everybody's leaving the place, and you see people like that walking around. You probably might not think too much of it, even though, Riley was hammered,
I mean, the only thing that's saying is that he didn't have a battle buddy. You always gotta have a battle buddy.
Right.
When you leave, I agree. They leave. When they leave, you leave.
Right.
Yeah. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Next caller, Mel.
All right. Thanks, man. Take care.
Hey, brother.
You too. Thanks. Bye. Chasing Stardust is sorry, it can Mel. You have a lot of crappy and sensitive members on your channel. They're part of the problem in society. Well, when you say members, I'm not sure if you're talking about the actual members of the channel or you're just talking about the chat. When we're covering breaking news, there's a lot of extra people here than would be here normal. And so normally you see the people that aren't really around saying kind of all kinds of wild stuff. But I love my members. I love my channel. I love the people in the chat. But sometimes people come in and they say things. It's an open public forum, There's a lot of people, thousands of people in the chat right now. 317, how you doing? Where you calling from? I don't even know if I've ever seen you before. Maybe, I don't know. 317, how you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
This is Trophy Wife.
Trophy Wife, how you doing?
I'm excellent, sir. How are you?
Good.
All right. I got two theories. One is that somebody else gave him something at the previous bars before they went to Luke Bryan. Or maybe as a group, they were like, hey, I got some such and such. Do you want one? Took one, didn't know what his reaction was going to be, right? So he kind of starts tripping when they're at Luke Bryan's. Maybe gets separated from his boys. Maybe the bouncers say, hey, man, you got to go. And then they use that, he had one whiskey, one beer, and two waters. That place is huge. This is the other thing I'm questioning. That place is huge. It has a stage. I'm not exactly sure what the max capacity is,
Oh,
but
inside
it's
that
a
bar?
big damn bar. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a big bar. So it doesn't surprise me that, like, he'd be like, hey, man, I'm going to the bathroom, whatever, and then try to get back to him and not be able to. Maybe bump into somebody that he didn't know, starting to feel the effect. Just a thought I've had ever since. But, yeah, I mean, accidents, you got to think about that. Accidents like that have been happening since ancient times.
Oh,
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know, you walk, you're in a place that you don't know. Here's another thing I want to know, or I wanted you to think about. Everybody's like, oh, they ought to sue and they ought to do this and they ought to do that and their friends ought to feel like shit. Nobody knows that Luke Bryan is paying for everything. Did you notice how fast they got everything they needed, including those little water things?
Oh, are they?
Luke
I didn't know
Bryan.
that.
Yeah, Luke Bryan is paying for him.
Oh, is that true? Oh, I didn't know that.
That's, it's on a good resource, but yeah, those were just a couple things I felt bad. Oh my God, I feel so bad for him. And then the people are like, oh, people are just standing around doing nothing. Well, first of all, the cop was addressing a break-in and, at least he spoke, right? He spoke, he went behind the corner. And then, why didn't anybody else say anything to him? The people of Nashville stepped out, yo. Yeah. They stepped out. Everybody got their security camera in on that shit. Everybody. So, I don't know. I mean, that freak accident, I feel so bad for his friends, too. Because those friends are going to carry that shit.
Yeah.
They're going to carry that, and they don't. Anyway, I don't want to keep the time up. I know you got calls. I love you so much. You're amazing.
I love you too. Thank you.
And keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Bloop bloop bloop.
Bloop bloop. Take care. All right. Cool. I don't think there's any like this nefarious whatever. I'm wondering. Maybe they'll release a new video. I'm not sure. Maybe they won't. The last video of him seeing, was he, when they do an autopsy, what are the results going to be? And then if they're able to do a toxicology, I'd like to, just out of curiosity, I don't know if they'll even tell us, whether there was more than alcohol, whether there were substances. And if there was, then can they, figure out how? Maybe you might never find out. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs situation where those three friends were out partying at the house. And, four friends, really. Right. And I think maybe even a fifth, apparently. But they're at this house watching a football game, and the game ends. The three of them, and there's conjecture, I don't know what really happened, but three of them go to leave. And three of them are found frozen, dead in the backyard almost 2 days later, I think. And a lot of people were looking at Jordan Willis, and it was a really sus story. It was a really strange, odd, unique story. Somewhat unique because there's three friends, I guess. Three people at the same time in the same area. And they came back and they had drugs in their system, and there's no arrest. And I think the last thing I no foul play, so I don't know what happened with that. Did they all do something and it was a bad batch or something? Anyway, that guy Jordan's planning on suing the families because he had to, because he had to move out, and some of the things that I saw on TV were spoken as fact, which was, I knew once I started hearing some of those things, I was like, oh, ish, this is not good. When they were saying directly in that cousin was like, yeah, he's the chemist, he's a drug dealer, we all know him for being a drug, blah, blah. I was like, oh, man. So apparently he's suing the families, and one of the families want to sue him for a wrongful death lawsuit. So that is going to be interesting if it happens. Maybe details are going to come out in those lawsuits. Okay, let me take the next caller. 413, how you doing? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Kim. calling
Kim.
from Massachusetts.
Hi, thanks for
Hi.
calling.
Okay. Yeah, I can't. Sorry. All these conspiracy theories. All right. I have watched the parents' interviews. I've watched, what's his name, Chris, the family friend spokesperson. Okay, so he wasn't running from anybody.
Okay.
Nobody was following him. What happened was he got kicked out of Luke Bryant's. I actually called in watching. Okay, he got kicked out of Luke Bryant's, the side door. After that, the parents already looked at the video, okay, inside Luke Bryant's.
Yeah.
So once he got kicked out, he tried going into a bar directly across. So there's cameras. They saw that he got kicked out, okay? So he tried going into that bar, and they saw that he got kicked out, so they wouldn't let him in. So after that, am I echoing?
No, I think you're fine. Maybe a tiny little bit, but you're fine. It's nothing.
Okay. So after that is he proceeded to walk. The food truck incident was there was a fight at the food truck. So he wasn't involved in the food truck fight. There was two people that had a scuffle. Right. So he ran behind the food truck to get away. So that's why you see him running. Okay? And then the whole incident was like 2 seconds. So you see him on the video running. And then after that is when he stumbled into the brick thing or whatever it was, a pole. So, and then you see him walking along the side of the building. That's when he's holding the back of his neck. He hit, like, you know, his head and the back of him. And then after that, he's walking up the hill. He sees the cop. Yeah, he's 22. He's going to straighten up. You know, he's drunk.
Right.
I don't necessarily think he has anything in his system besides alcohol. He was pre-gaming. He went to 2 bars before that. I mean, this was all said by, you know, his the family spokesperson and by his family, the stepfather, his father, and his mom. His mom, you know, isn't talking too much because she was too distraught, you know.
Right.
So when he saw the cop, being a 22-year-old, you know, you're going to straighten up a bit, you know, because I was looking at it going, wow, he seems totally fine. But, yeah, I mean, me being 22, and if I was drunk and I see a cop, I'm going to straighten up, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know? So, I mean, I just wanted to clarify all that because I have been watching this case since day one on your channel and everywhere else I could find. I mean, people are saying people are chasing him, people are following him,
all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
you know, and none of that is true. It's not true. I mean, people want to, you know, start spinning stories. They were spinning it from the beginning, and they're still spinning it. You know, I don't know. I just wanted to clarify all that.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate the call.
So, but love you, Mel.
Love you too.
Love you,
Thank
Kat.
you. Appreciate you watching. Take care.
And mods.
And mods.
All right, thanks.
Bye. People on Twitter, if you wouldn't mind giving me a follow too, if you could follow me, follow the page, I'd appreciate that. Let's see. Sandra, thank you for the 20 earlier, says never leave a man behind. Once again, great coverage, Mel. Poor Riley. Yeah, I've had some situations with good friends that I've hung out with that, like, if I wasn't feeling good, I'll come with you. And, you know, Courthouse Cat, thank you for the 12 months, says Mel, this is so sad. Prayers to his family. Keep up the good work. Maggie, thank you for the membership. Wendy Hamilton, hey, thank you for the 11 months, says I had 2 drinks last week and got super sick. I was begging Jesus for mercy. I'm such a lightweight. Wow. That's the other thing, too. Riley was very skinny, I think, right? He was like 150, 160, I thought. Something like that. That factors into it as well. Krista, thank you for the 29 months. Says Riley didn't have any true friends around him. No true friend leaves their friend to walk alone in a city they don't know. It's heartbreaking. I wonder what the conversation was like with the person he was on the phone with on speakerphone. Like, how did that go? Tish, thank you for the 5. Says we've had to carry my friend's 6'5" wasted boyfriend around 2nd Avenue. He looked just like Riley. However, I was roofied at Coyote Ugly on 2nd Avenue, so you never know. Ooh. Tish also says, and thank you for the super chat, I've had 2 friends own bars and bartending on 2nd Avenue. I know if you get kicked out, they will go find your people for you and tell them you're outside. Just tell them. Oh, that's nice. Brian Eyed Girl, thank you for the membership. All right, let me take these calls. 419, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Hi, Mel. It's Froggy Maggie.
Froggy, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, not bad. Just
I feel like I know you on the phone with you. No, I just think he got lost. It's unfortunate he got lost and he was going the wrong way and he probably had to stop to take a pee.
Right.
Lost his debit card and then boom. But all these people being so Sue happy, I just don't understand.
Sue the bar, sue the frat.
Sue Luke Bryan, sue them all.
I think it would be hard to do just because, as far as the bar, just because like they maybe if they kept serving him, and he was completely plastered, and they're like, well, you keep having more drinks and more drinks, then maybe you'd have a case or something like that because it's literally, I think, illegal over there. But they served them one drink, and they're like, you gotta go. So I think it'd be kind of hard to pull that off.
And unfortunately, his friends are going to have to live with this the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But I was about ready to get my boat out and go down there and start searching.
Really?
Yeah. Take the Icamel crew down with me.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that got involved and people that were doing their own searches, and but it's pretty dangerous out there, I guess, in that water. You live in that area?
Yeah.
Or how far are you from there?
No, I'm from Ohio.
Oh, Ohio.
OH. Yeah. So I just wanted to drop in, say hi to the chat.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that, Frog. And I appreciate your support. I know you've been around for a while.
Yeah. Is press conference at 1:00?
Yes. 1 Central, so 2 Eastern.
Okay.
So I already set up a live
stream for that.
Yeah. It's going to be, I'm sure it's probably going to be like emotional, probably, and the family is going to speak, and I don't know what they're going to say, but.
Yeah. It just touches my heart. I have a son getting ready to go to college, and it could happen to any of us.
Oh, but it's
scary,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, well, hope you're doing well, the doggies and daughter.
Yeah, it's spring break now, so she's here chilling with me.
Oh, you guys doing anything fun?
Next week sometime we're gonna go on a road trip. So really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Well, nice.
Yep.
Well, good to finally talk to you.
Yeah, good talking.
Hope we get some answers soon.
Thanks. All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Yeah, the press conference is in about 2 hours or an hour and 45 minutes. 386, how you doing? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Mel. Is it me? Am I on?
Yes, you're on. Hi.
All right. Hi. This is, I used to go by Sunflower. And then we had to change Google, YouTube. I had to change my thing. But so now I'm Curious Kit.
Curious Kid. Okay.
I haven't renewed my membership yet. I'm sorry, but I won't use my regular visa for that. But listen, this has everyone so tore up for numerous reasons, right? Because I think all of us feel the same, that it could have been prevented, obviously, and he was this young man with a bright future with such an innocent, naive face, and he was so vulnerable in a city that he wasn't from. Now, I'm a grandmother of 10, but back in the day in Florida, I helped manage a big country bar. Garth Brooks was there, Kenny Chesney.
Oh.
It was big. but I had an awesome security team of professionals that didn't just want to fight, but actually, and I also had security outside. We paid off-duty officers to secure the parking lot. And so we had all these barriers up for a situation like this. Oh. There would not be someone stumbling out to their death in that way. And if they were a problem, let's say they wanted to fight, they were intoxicated, if we couldn't calm the situation down and handle it, then we would involve law enforcement. But I don't see, yes, he was with 50 friends, 200 friends, whatever, it happened. But the thing of it is, I believe they should take some responsibility, just as if they had served someone too much alcohol and set them out to drive a vehicle. I think they need to take some accountability here. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
what's your thoughts?
I saw there was a picture that someone sent me a while back, and it was of the Luke Bryan bar, I believe, and they were showing how packed and crazy that place gets. And right. I mean, it was really, 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 like, I was like surprised. I didn't know how big it was or how many people are there. Right. And so, and I remember too, when I used to party back in the days and sometimes go to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, there was just so many people. And especially like when, first of all, like, especially like the place space, everybody was messed up. Everybody was stumbling out of the shit. Everybody was like barely functional getting out of there. So I think like the previous callers, one of them said that like that's kind of like the atmosphere out there. But I wish somebody, like you're saying, I wish somebody would have just called the cops, maybe, or But he even walked by a cop, and he appeared at that time to be okay for a few seconds.
But I get the officer. I mean, really, because working with the public and what he does, I don't think he got. We all saw it. He seemed fine, how he just kind of like, hello, officer, respectful, because that's who he was. I don't think there were any red flags. I don't feel the officer in any way. Yeah. But, I think everyone that had any interactions or saw this young man are going to be blaming themselves. And I'm sure, some of the, most of the staff are probably going to be doing the same thing. I guess really what I'm trying to say too, and maybe I didn't come off right.
Well, you're fine. You're good.
My heart is crushed. But if there's anything to gain from this, let there be a law in place, not just the buddy system, but couldn't there be something that when you exit that place, because does have security, they have the cameras, they got the teams. I don't know if they have anyone on the outside, but place to prevent this. It just seems like if there's anything to gain from this law, let it be something like that.
What did I do? Oh my god!
I can't.
Oh my god! Sorry, guys. I touched the button. I know not to touch buttons again. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to fix the little overlay because I don't like but I guess I have to do it when I'm not streaming. I screwed something up. All right, we're good though. We're back.
My heart's just broken, and for his family, but they have answers now. But it's just so devastating, and I wish that out of this sad story, that something other than remembering to look out for our friends and have that buddy system. I just don't think that they obviously made that right choice by sending that young man who wasn't even from here, kicking him out to the street like that.
Thank you, Chester's mom. Yeah, I really do feel like ultimately, like, it is up to the person's their responsibility, but it would be nice, or like, I like. I don't know if it was you or the other person that I think it was you. Yeah, it was. Oh no, there was somebody in the chat. Was it you that said that like there's some places like they'll walk you out or they'll call your friend or something and they'll try to like make sure that you're okay type of thing. I mean, that would be nice.
No, I think someone else said that. Yeah, someone else said that.
Like that night with my horrible experience, I'm glad and grateful for the people that helped me along the way. But and there was 3 of them. There was a bunch of others that didn't. But at the end of the day, I know I effed up. I made the decision to be stupid as F and take the acid and whatever. And then along the way, and I scared 2 of my friends too. I did scare 2 of my friends. And I'm really thankful for those 3 people that helped me out that night. It's too bad. I wish Riley would have had that. There was the one lady. I remember there was the one lady that was like, that actually spoke to him. He said, "I'm okay." So at that point, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah. I know she's always got. We always, of course. But obviously he wasn't, but she didn't know that, and she did offer assistance, and I hope she doesn't blame herself in any way. I mean, we're all like just heartbroken, and but I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think they should be charged. I just wish there was a better way. Like,
maybe
yes,
they could
I could go back in time and
right. I mean, maybe they could do something.
I worked in that field, and my guys, they all had headsets. And I would know, they'd say, hey, so-and-so, walking or starting a fight or he's had too much, cut him off. But look, we'd either sit him down if he wasn't obnoxious or violent. We'd make sure we followed through when that person went out that door. But like you said, it's so crowded, maybe people are in and out. We live in a fast-paced society now.
Right.
That things like that are taken for granted. So times have changed. Hey, I'm talking 35 years ago, but we packed them in with Garth Brooks and Kenny Chesney. Doesn't mean they weren't wall to wall, and we didn't have this big stage. We had all of that.
Lily Pat in the chat said that we would call a cab if we were kicking someone out for being intoxicated.
Yes, we would call a cab. And I did hear a lady, maybe it was in the chat or on the phone, that said the buddy system, we'd make sure we find your people, so to speak, or we call a cab at the very least. I mean, it just would be nice. No, it didn't happen this time, but maybe going forward there can be some changes and more awareness now.
That would be that. Maybe they could do something like that. I don't know. That would be if they change a little something to try to help out if they can. I don't know, by trying to. I don't know, like you guys said, maybe a Uber or something.
Yeah. I know we have laws here in Florida pertaining to that. We there's the free cab. There's that's what we used to have. I mean, of course, I haven't been out hanging out in any of those places or working in that type of environment for many, many years. But it used to be you called a cab for your customer, or you made sure they had a way home, and it was a free cab system that they set up. It was a free taxi. It didn't cost you anything back in the day.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, I won't take up your time,
Okay.
But I guess we were hoping, and all these theories that everyone's looking at the video, like that one thinking they saw him being drugged and fallen. And I think everyone's heart was just hoping, the mystery. Why did it just disappear? I mean, we still don't know how he fell in. And the water was 7 foot deeper, they said? 4 to 7 foot deeper that night?
Yeah, 7 feet. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Mel, thanks for answering my call.
Yeah, we'll talk. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. (908) where are you calling from? We have 2 callers left.
Hey, Mel, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Hey, this is Sarah from Arizona.
Hey, Sarah. Thanks for calling.
And I wanted to call in and clear up any misconceptions you or the chat might have about sororities and fraternities.
Okay.
Because I was in one, and there's a lot of hate. I get it, but I just want to start off with the main one in this case. There's some people saying he was at a conference for the fraternity. There's some people saying he was at a formal.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't be a conference. The Delta Chi is a national fraternity. I know that. They wouldn't be having their conference in Nashville, I doubt. It's likely that they, rented out a hotel ballroom and it's like a dance, a formal event. So that's kind of my idea of why they were in Nashville, but I could be wrong. But
I thought I read something like it was they were just kind of celebrating or something. I don't know. Like I forgot what it was.
Yeah, that's why I think it was a formal, because it is kind of like a part. It's a big party. Everybody dresses nice.
Okay.
It was probably over that weekend that they were there.
So what was your experience with the fraternity yourself?
I had such an amazing experience. There's always going to be things that could have been different. But, when I was going through a hard time in my life, my grades were slipping because of family issues. They assigned me a study buddy and put me on probation until I got my GPA back up.
Wow. What's probation? What do they do?
Like you can't attend certain social events, and you have to go and meet with the standards board every week and check in with them and tell them how you're doing, and library hours twice a week. And, an action plan to get my grades back up, because we have standards. You need to have a certain GPA. You need to do certain hours of volunteer work every semester, stuff like that. So I had a great experience. And the sisterhood, too, is I still have all those girls on my Facebook and stuff. We don't talk all the time. It's been about 10 years for me, but they're there if I need them.
And so, like, the benefits are, like, they kind of help you out and stuff, and maybe even after school, too? Or you probably make friends and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, job networking. You can get a referral for jobs. I went to the eye doctor a couple of years ago, a new eye doctor, and I had my shirt on with my sorority letters on, and the doctor was like, oh, I was in that sorority, too. And she gave me free exam.
Oh, really? Oh, so you got the hookup.
Stuff like that.
Okay, I think of like when I think of fraternities, it's because I see stuff in the news all the time. I'm sure they're not all like that, so you've had a good experience. And maybe it's just you just see the bad, I guess. But like even now, when I go and look, there was something yesterday, my University of Miami. Like you just always hear about like these hazing things going on in some of them, and in certain cases, some people have died and stuff. Lawsuits.
Hazing is definitely an issue, and sororities and fraternities are like a boogeyman, they'll find something wrong with them, but they're never ever write an article about the philanthropy that we do, all of the fundraising we do for charities, all the volunteering we do. That's a huge part of it, at least in my experience.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense. I guess they had all those connections and stuff.
Yeah, but hazing it's definitely an issue. I was hazed in the beginning.
Really? Was it bad? Or?
No. I mean, any hazing is bad, but from my perspective and for the purpose of this call, no, it was not bad. It was stupid stuff. Okay. But I have seen bad things, and my sorority actually put a complete halt on hazing a year after I joined, and a lot of sisters quit because they didn't think it was fair that these new people weren't going to get hazed. And I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Then leave, because this is the right way to do it.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate you sharing that perspective.
No problem. Have a good one.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. All right. We got some different perspective there. 407, last caller, 407. How you doing?
Oh my goodness, I've been waiting so long.
The last one. Thank you for holding.
It's Cheeks, Mel.
Cheeks! Oh my God. I can't believe it's you.
So long, right?
How you doing? I hope you're doing all right. I know it's been a while.
I'm good.
You've been busy,
I'm
right?
good. I got a lot of positive things going on over here. I'm constantly talking to the Jewish monkeys. on a personal thing,
but good.
I'll listen to you later. But this is a sad case. I'm not going to lie to you. After this last weekend's, I had already kind of came to the conclusions. I was like, I think they're going to find him in the water.
Yeah.
In regards to what happened, I just figure, again, it's a drunk night. That personal responsibility, I'm assuming, I can only assume because I went to college and I know how that goes. We're going to pregame beforehand, and you got the vibes with your friends, but then you get into a whole completely different environment. You've got new people, the music is going, all of that stuff. I don't know what happened in the bar. I know that after they kicked him out, somebody maybe should have went out there to go check on him. I mean, it was a group of 200 people. I don't know how many of them went to that bar together, but personal responsibility does come into play. We also don't know what they were doing during pregame. He might have had some liquor that he didn't have before. He might have mixed liquor. We don't know. But
I thought I heard something about Jello shots too, or something. I thought they had. I'd have to look it up to confirm it. I mean, I know there were at other bars before. See if I can find it. But yeah, even adults, sometimes you got to pregame. These places are so expensive.
Oh hell yeah!
And overpriced. Even in my you get yourself a little
even
Uber.
In my heyday. Yeah. Even after the heyday, Four Loko was the shit when we were like.
Oh
in our
my
20s.
gosh! Four Loko.
I'd pregame. Oh god, I pregame half a can. I'm only 4'11", so I knew my limit. And then my best friend, she's like 6'8" in heels. I'd let her drink the rest. But I was always DD in our little group. So yeah, I'd pregame. I'd have a couple of drinks, but then after 12, I'd drink water. Now, this is where in that whole situation of the double standard, because I think girls do have a tendency to look out for their friends a little bit more than guys do. Yeah. Guys will generally kind of give their friends space, like if he wants to go talk to a girl or, situations of that nature. So I don't think you guys really do the buddy system like women do the buddy system. We go to the bathroom together and, everybody's like, why do you guys do that? It's situations like this. There's been times where it's only been me and my bestie in the club and she's gotten super wasted. Literally had to have an intervention with her back at the hotel. Like, dude, I'm not doing this. Right. Like, I'm going out to have a good time. I'm not here to babysit. But, essentially, if I'm in your presence, I came here with you. I need to bring you back home with me. Like, it's a 2-for-1 deal, Slim. I didn't come by myself. I'm not going home by myself. But I had to let her know it's a personal responsibility. If you have a problem, tell me that you have a problem. As your friend, I'm going to be here for you. But this getting sloshy drunk in the club, and again, I'm only 4'11", getting drunk down in South Beach, and I'm having to drag her Amazon ass back to the parking garage because you know how South Beach is.
Yeah.
And dudes are hassling us, and I'm telling them to leave her alone, and it's fuck you and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll be that, but you're not taking advantage of this one. I will fight like tooth and nail. This woman has a child, and I got to get her back to her kid. Again, it's a personal responsibility thing, but it's also an individual thing, too. Some people are just like, oh, okay, well, you're grown. Yeah, you're grown, but I still feel like I need to look out for you. I came here with you. If you're not leaving with me, and I can't confirm that, there's no going home with dudes afterwards. You better meet that guy at the Waffle House parking lot. Y'all cool it, kick it. He might not be that cute once you sober up, but...
Right.
What can you say? I think this is just this is one of those situations that, I will be telling Mini Cheeks, you will be telling Maddie when they go off to college, you have got to be careful because there might not have been foul play in this, but you have to be aware. The fact that he sobered up when he saw a cop, that's nothing. I do that as an adult right now. I turn down my trap music, I turn on the AC, and I'm very calm. But I don't feel like that's some indication. I don't feel like the officer was at fault. I mean, unless the man literally smelled of liquor. And like I said, they could have pre-gamed in their Bermuda shorts and shirts and then changed into their skivvies for the club. Afterwards, he might not have been giving off that liquor smell. So what was the cop supposed to do? He's like, it's a pedestrian. He's walking. I got on this call. What am I supposed to do? You can't... It's not the boys' fault in the frat. I wish they would, institute the buddy system. But in a crowd that big frat, they've been pre-gaming, they've been drinking. They're here to have a good time. They're not here to babysit.
Right.
You know, and they're thinking that we're all on the same wave. We're going to have a great time. We're going to do this, that, and the third, go home, go back to school, get back to doing what we're supposed to do. But this is our time to cut loose. You know, responsibility is only for self and self-preservation. Like, I'm here to have a good time. I don't know what you're here to do, but, you know, it's a sad thing. But I kind of figured that this was going to happen. I don't know how he got down there. I don't know if maybe he tripped and fell because I didn't realize that there was a steep until I saw your stream this weekend. But, I mean, personal responsibility, I don't think the bar...
There was a guy that fell in there last night, too. A homeless guy fell in the water. Uh-huh. And the reason they were able to help him is because they were searching for Riley.
You know what's so crazy is that, again, we see it all the time. You know, you see people, I've only called the cops on a drunk maybe once or twice when I've seen, like, a serious injury. Like, when Riley fell, if I was there, and maybe it's just the medical person in me, I probably would have been like, maybe you should sit. Let's call 911, work out that head injury because we don't know what's going on. You're alert right now, but you could be swelling right now. You could have bleeding. As a pedestrian, I would have done that. But if I'm out having a good time with my friends, I'm not going to lie to you. I probably would have been like, dude, he clearly had a good time. Where was he at? Let's go there.
Right.
So I don't know, bystanders, what you call it, the bystander effect. You know, the cop just trying to do his job. The bar stating on record they only have this, that, and the third. There's so many different variables. I think at the end of the day, it's just a teachable moment. Baby, don't go to the club and if you get kicked out, you let them know that you are a part of a group. And somebody needs to, you know, somebody in your party needs to make sure that you're okay. And even if they decide that they want to stay, put me somewhere. But then you start opening the Pandora's box of getting in the wrong Uber or the Uber driver being a creep. And I just, you know, there's so many different factors because this could have gone horribly wrong in so many different ways. So many different ways. This one, unfortunately, maybe everybody just wants somebody to blame because it's like, how could this happen? And I get that, but it's a personal, I don't want to blame Riley, but it is a personal, you know, a personal responsibility thing. Like, if you're going to go out and drink and have a good time, understand that, but don't find yourself in a situation where you're putting other people in a situation of like, damn, what the hell are we supposed to do? Like, you know your limit. You know, it's okay, one or two, but don't get sloshed. Like, you can't do that, especially not in public. In an area you don't know, you can't find your friends in the club. Like, no, it's just not a good idea. It's sad. It is a teachable moment, though, but I've already been paranoid enough. I've told my child I'm contemplating building a bunker somewhere and just keeping her from myself because the world is too scary. I can't lose sleep over her. And, you know, we're slowly creeping up on 18, 3 more years, and then I'm yeah, it's scary. That's why I keep telling you, enjoy Maddie, man. Enjoy Maddie. My kid is already talking about military and after school and colleges, and I'm like, oh, God, girl, can you calm down for a second because I need a moment. So it is what it is. But like I said, didn't want to keep you. Wanted to call in, say hi. I miss you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. I miss you too. I hope you're doing well. Seems like you're doing well.
I said, I am. Like I said, those are more personal things. I'll let you know on the back end. But I've been talking to the Jewel Monkey about it, and so we're constantly talking. But alrighty, I'm going to let you guys go.
That was good.
Have
Thanks.
a good one.
All right,
I'll see you guys at the Plaza.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye, Mel.
Bye. All right. Nice call. All right, I want to show this video, and then we're going to be back later, too, for the press conference. We just show this. This was about the person that fell in the embankment.
Bring in now David Flagg. He is with the United Cajun Navy. David, it's good of you to be back on the program. Thank you for this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, listen, Evan just alluded to something that seems to have just happened, that you're out searching for Riley Strain, and you've actually rescued someone else. Can you shed some light on what's happened?
Absolutely. So we had our boats in the water, and we're really just getting ready to start tonight's mission. And as the boats were more or less just kind of idling down the river, they heard someone on the riverbank calling for help. So they pulled over to the bank, and as it turns out, it was a 61-year-old man. He was a homeless man who had fallen from the top of the riverbank, which would have been First Street, and it's about at least a 30-foot drop. It's very brushy and but almost directly vertical. So he had kind of bounced down through the trees and the brush and stuff, and actually landed on the rocks right at the river's edge. Was unable to move. Had some injuries to his arms and his wrists. But if we had not heard that, if we had not been here, he very likely would have passed.
That is quite remarkable, and I think really sort of underscores what can happen on those walkways and in that sort of thick brush up from the water's edge. If Riley had been, stumbling, inebriated, trying to find his way, and just had some, a missed footing, it makes perfect sense that the 61-year-old man who fell and tumbled to 30 feet, maybe the same thing. Would you have been able to see by now in the area that Riley was last seen, with the timestamps that we know, would you have been able to find in all of that area if he was on that riverbank at this point?
Absolutely. Well, I'm not going to say absolutely. Very, very high probability. That whole area, those riverbanks and the river along that area has been searched thoroughly over and over and over again. Nashville PD has searched it thoroughly. Their urban search and rescue department, I've actually met them out there and seen them going up and down that riverbank. We've had Nashville PD's boats on the water, Nashville Office of Emergency Management, Tennessee Office of Emergency Management, Tennessee Fish and Wildlife. I mean, there was a number of private individuals have been in boats up and down this river. What Evan was alluding to a little while ago, we actually had some local residents who are fishermen and have boats, and they reached out and said, "Hey, look, we want to help in this," and they brought 4 of their own boats out on the river tonight. They were upriver here with us in the Nashville area, and then they have returned to the downriver area where we were and where Evan was earlier there at Cleese's Ferry, and they're going to spend a good part of the night tonight just searching along the riverbank and searching in some of these coves or back eddies to see what they can find.
And we're seeing the live pictures of that, David. We're watching as those boats that you're talking about, you're Cajun Navy, you're the director. I want to remind people this is a volunteer group. These people just put down whatever they're doing, whenever they're doing it, and they hit the road, and they come with their boats, whatever kind they have, whatever craft they have, and they join in the effort to volunteer to search for people who need them. I do want to ask you this, if I can, David, and that is that it's been 13 days since Riley was last seen on video or his phone last pinged. If he had fallen into that river.
So this whole press conference thing, I'm not sure it's actually happening. So what happened was I was saying that there was going to be a family press conference because I was tagged in this tweet from the news station, and it says, this is from 2 hours ago, 9:51 this morning. It says Riley Strain to hold press conference, Riley family to hold press conference. But when you click the link, this article is from yesterday. So I don't know why they tweeted it today, because this is yesterday's link. I don't know if the family's actually having a press conference today. This is outdated. So there might not actually be a press conference later. So there might not be a press conference. So I guess for now I'll delete the other stream unless there's some type of confirmation later. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do speak, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they don't. I don't know. or maybe right now they're probably grieving, you know, so I don't know if they're actually going to do a press conference later. So I'll delete that one for now. Let me just see here. No. Let's see here. Redirect. So I gotta change this to. All right. Well, at least that kind of leaves us open for today. I think we've talked about this at length already for now, unless there's a new press conference later. Rest in peace. Condolences. Thank you for everybody that called in today. We'll see what we do later. It really depends. Things will be open. Whether there's a press conference. Oh, there is something we're supposed to. That boyfriend, the mother that sent the child to some boot camp with the boyfriend, and the boyfriend allegedly was doing all kinds of stuff. I think there's a hearing later for that. Maybe we'll tune into that. Also, make sure you guys check out if you want. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel, Ikid Mel space CC, or the mailing list, or follow me on any of my pages. And later today, by the way, this video, I did an interview with this channel. It's dropping, I think, at 5 p.m. Eastern. Let's go advertising. I'll redirect everybody. There it is. Again, this is the video dropping later. Let me show you. I'll put the link in the description. Alpha David actually interviewed me, and he posted it here for later today, 5 p.m. So if you want to join for that, I'll redirect everybody to. I'll put the link in the description. Okay. And it looks really nasty over here. Cloudy, rainy. Go eat a sandwich. But yeah, we'll talk updates on Sebastian. I'll take a look and see for Sebastian. It really might be interesting to listen to that interview that channel posted the other day. I don't know if they give us permission to check it and play it. Maybe I can reach out. I keep hearing people talk about that interview. Look at this. Most news outlets are not playing the entire video clip of Riley with the Metro Police. In listening to this clip in the beginning, you can definitely hear that Riley is walking fast or running, the way his feet shuffled. Once he hears the police officer, he tries to walk normally. That I actually believe. I think he at one point did look like he was running, that he slowed down. Almost as if not to give the appearance that he's not been drinking or intoxicated. Okay. But they're still asking, was he being chased, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think that's it for now. If there's something comes up later, I'll definitely come back on. Follow me on both channels. Yeah, I don't know, my throat's a little... Maybe make some hot tea or something. All right, guys. Take care. See you later. Be safe. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop.